Hey everybody, clearing. All right, here we go. So this is going to be a reading for the Divine Masculines about what they need to know about their DF right now. So thank you, Divine Creator. What is it that the Divine Feminine polarity has to share with the masculine at this time? What information, awareness, reality does the feminine offer the masculine at this time for their spiritual, energetic evolution, their mastery? What aspects of what we're going to see are most noteworthy, relevant for the masculines to consider? And any advice that the masculines might want to mull over on their journey at this time regarding their feminine. Okay. Actually, I'm going to shuffle one more time. That was a little bit fancy-dancy. Okay, that feels a little more solid. Conscious mind about the connections. What are the feminines considering? Whoa, okay, so internal progress and not wanting to fight anymore. I heard not wanting to fight for love, not wanting to have to feel like they have to effort to be loved. The feminines just don't want to be in that kind of feeling that they have to convince, or that somebody isn't ready, or somebody isn't willing, or they're done. The feminines are done. It's like waving the white flag of surrender, like they just don't want that feeling anymore, masculines. Wow. And for some, I'm getting tears coming up. There's a welling up of, it shouldn't have to be this way. It shouldn't have to be this hard. But ironically, it's not like a disintegrated, hopeless feeling. It's more of a, oh, wow, I've been carrying this heavy burden and I've got to put it down. The reason I'm laughing is because I once saw a little cartoon that said, "Doctor, every time I drink my coffee, I get a stabbing pain in my left eye." But there's a picture of the coffee cup with the spoon still left in it. It's like the feminines are realizing that they haven't needed to carry certain efforts in the connection, and they're ready to put that down. What do the masculines need to know about this? It goes hand in hand with your heart opening. So you're so in tuned as well, masculines. And when your feminine is still doing your portion of the energy, doing that efforting that really isn't truly theirs, there are feminine accountabilities that do benefit the connection, and the feminines have to put themselves in a position of receptivity. But when they do anything that compensates for something they don't have in relationship, without just funneling that into themselves, there's an efforting and a drain of energy. As your feminine puts that down, your heart is naturally being opened because you're so in tuned. You're starting to feel that breeze come into the connection, the easy breezy. What can we see for advice? Pay attention to this. It's going to show you exactly where to approach. Wherever your feminine softens, that's where you have an in, masculine. So Seven of Swords can be a strategy. It can be deluding ourselves. In the inverse like this, it's you starting to make very precise, strategical, heart-based motions towards your feminine that are very, very heartwarming, because your feminine is used to not having somebody so aware, so caring, so loving, so open, so patient in their energy. And so it's going to be delightful for your feminine when they just put down their struggle and there's room for you to advance. That's so beautiful. What are you taking notes, feminines? What can we see for the feminine's opinion of their divine counterpart? Oh, yes, King of Pentacles. That is you. The commitment, the connection, the validation of this, they see you still as their everything. There's a little bit of temperance, balance, healing needed. And I'm really getting that healing needed is literally the antidote here, where the feminines finally let go of doing certain masculine type things in the connection and get to experience being the feminine. They do see you this way, but masculines, they have not ever had a masculine like you in their life. They may not know how to fully witness what it is you actually offer. And so this is a process over time. Vice versa, masculines, you haven't seen necessarily everything that a divine feminine can offer. That is this person too good to be true sort of thing. So it goes both ways. It goes hand in hand. What do the masculines need to see for this? Continue to have unconditional love. If you knew then what you know now, yes, you would have done it differently. But deep forgiveness, deep exhilaration, excitement, adventure is at hand, because now you get to do this beautiful dance, this treasure hunt of finding ways to witness your feminine coming into their feminine, and you getting to have a chance to redeem yourself in love. And this love is redeeming. This is where we can rise up, where we can allow the progress to feel good, not a blow to the ego. What is the advice for the masculines? Reunion. So this is coming forward, connecting on a deeper level. This is a green light kind of card, masculines, that when we, I just heard eat humble pie, but it's really not that kind of energy where you're being forced to do that. This is such an act of love to really honor the connection you share, the soul level connection that you share, because your feminine is somebody that gets you. And so it's just about acknowledging that deepening and allowing to drop the resistance for you offering that love towards your feminine. I'm hearing masculines, it's safe for you to love. And feminines, trusting the love enough to just chill. Okay, what can we see for the heart space that the feminines are seeing? Getting out of their minds. So this is one of the biggest burdens for the feminines, is the overthinking, and specifically about being chosen or not, and this new beginning. So feminines are dropping the need to know how, what, where, when they're going to be acknowledged, chosen in love. And they're not telling themselves that their worth depends on that, on a very deep, deep, essential layer that allows them to feel, I heard, claimed by this love. So there is already a framework of things that have happened in this connection, masculines, where the feminines have never felt safer in their lives. You have given them something. These true aligned connections, you have given them something beyond anything any other human being has brought to a dynamic, a shared dynamic with them. And so this is one more level of that trust coming in. What do the masculines most need to know about this? This is the separation energy. This is a very sad card. It's okay if you haven't been able to, swoop in and sweep them off their feet and save them, and plans haven't worked, and divine timing has skewed things, or you haven't known how, or you didn't even know that this was the one that you wanted to do that with. Sometimes these connections are cloaked until things align behind the scenes, and then the light bulbs go off. This card shows a desire in you, masculines, to make a difference in your feminines' lives, to see where you can provide safety, security, foundation, stability. logic, reason, consistency, dependability. So don't be overwhelmed by this feeling of not knowing what to do. Really drop in for guidance. Honor it, masculines. Have a vote of confidence in you and your feminine that you will be given the intuitive guidance needed. You'll be given the instructions if you remember to ask, which we saw in yesterday's reading. You certainly are evoking that high priest asking of higher guidance. What is the advice? To continue dropping out of ego, coming into this humble acknowledgement of what can be now, never mind what hasn't been able to happen so far. But things are getting real, I'm hearing. And coming out of the training ground of the 5D and into more of a foundational connection in the material realm. And this is going to be initiated through humility and sincerity. So as the feminine is relinquishing false control constructs, masculines, you're going to see a genuine desire to show up in certain ways that only you and the divine, only you and your connection to source can devise, can come up with, can see. They will be things that might seem mundane to you, but I'm getting that they will make all the difference and absolutely delight your feminine. The little things. Your feminine is at a baseline where it's the little things. Masculines, I wanted to tear up again with that one. There's a subtlety, a sensitivity, masculines, that you're meeting your feminine in, or are about to start meeting your feminine in. It's kind of like this delicate energy where only you can approach knowing them the way you know, understanding your holistic connection with such wisdom. The shoes aren't too big, masculines. You are extraordinary. What can we see for the heart space, the heart of hearts here? 4 of Cups and 7 of Cups. That's 11sies. This is about the feminines believing in second chances. Every once in a while on this journey, we tell ourselves that we're better off with someone else or better off alone. There's a deep heart-centered feeling here that the feminines do in fact believe that a second go round here, or a deepening in a way they thought wasn't possible, is actually the most unconditionally loving way through, the most supportive, the most beautiful. They're really open to not holding any kind of limitations from past experience in the mix here. What do the masculines most need to know about that? And this is the inner work that you've been doing that the feminines instinctually feel. They do know everything is connected, and they feel a softening. They feel this motion in the connection where they can drop their guard, stop efforting in certain ways, stop telling themselves and gaslighting themselves regarding their worth or your care. This is where the feminines are getting rid of their disbelief and seeing you in a different light, masculines. And it is primarily because of the inner work that you've been inspired to do here, in the ways that you've done that work. it's also a direct result of the work that the feminine has done. This is a tandem effort. It is not, it is inseparable. The lessons that the two go through on these journeys are inseparable. What is the advice for the masculines? Continue doing the work. 8 of Coins twice here. So you will be able to put the work in these connections with your head held high, looking your feminine in the eye, fully proud, fully here for it, as you continue to specialize in refining yourself. That really is the prerequisite to see what is the most beneficial external action. An outshowing of the internal awareness, expressing yourself. So you're becoming more authentically you, masculines, and that's going to exude from you. This is going to be the frequency that your feminine is calling in and receptive to. Because the feminines have not been receptive to every advance from their masculine if it hasn't resonated on a frequency that was deeply honoring. The feminines have not allowed it. This is a huge calibration in the connections, and it goes both ways. There have been times when you masculines have not received, allowed, cultivated, promoted the advances of the feminines. There have been times you have. It is a give and take, and it is based on the energetic frequency of whether it is beneficial or not. And both in these connections keep bringing out the best in each other because they keep mirroring this standard, this evolving, rising standard that the two of you find the edge of and continue to mirror back to each other. What a sacred dance. What can we see for what the feminines want to manifest here? Again, they want the second chance, the 4 of Cups coming back in. They want the burden to be gone. So the feminines are realizing if they want this return, if they want to experience the depth of this connection, they've had to go to the ecstatic heights. They've had to go to the mundane, nitty-gritty, real life aside from connection. And now they feel, the feminines feel they are ready to have it all with you masculines. Oh, that's so lovely. But they know they have to put down the resistance to anything that wasn't it all with you yet and see it from a different vantage point. The feminines now know that they need to embrace everything that has happened that didn't directly look like it promoted these connections, because they're seeing that it was all part of the learning. It was all part of the establishment and the release of karma, old timelines, and the establishment of going forward. It's also that ride or die energy, because while real life is happening and while the two have been pulled apart at times, real foundational awarenesses, lessons, changes, progress has been made, and these connections have stood the test of time. So the feminines are wishing to integrate the broad spectrum of what they have experienced together and apart into a harmonious togetherness that allows for spaciousness to be there. What do the masculines need to know about this? That your feminine is just coming into this leadership in their own conscious awareness, that they haven't had these answers prior, that in karmic situations they were never in this level of empowerment, that this is something that is being brought to highlight within them because of these connections and the development within them. And investing. So masculines, yes, there is something about you investing now at this stage of the journey that I'm seeing you just fixing your feminine's hair, or, you know, putting the polishing touches. It's not that you complete your feminine, but that level of intimate interaction where there is an ownership of your desire, accountability, claiming, caring for your feminine. You put your feminine on their rightful throne in your life for all to see. So there is an investment, a growing investment in your feminine as you begin to come forward in ways that your feminine does not have to effort any longer. They are organically stepping down from doing those things in their life in general. So feminines, regardless if this masculine comes forward to you or not, you're learning these lessons, and your life will become more balanced as a result, because these principles lend themselves to all interactions. When you're in your feminine, you're leading with grace. You are voting for and away from certain things based on how much effort you put into them and what that internal motivation is for investing. So we all have masculine and feminine within us. So there's also this dance going on to some degree in each of the counterparts on their own. I get in the comments quite frequently, actually, am I the masculine or the feminine? If you've been on the journey for a while and it's starting to feel like a wobbly goop soup, you might be just coming into your wholeness and having more of a recognition of these aspects within all of us. But there is a more predominant polarity that we each express in. And that negotiation of the finely tuned instrumentation within these connections is hand in hand with the safety and the readiness for romantic sacred union. So we're seeing a new balance being struck here. What are the feminine's actions at this time? They're letting go of control issues. So there is a deeper surrender. I'm also getting that the feminines are becoming more clear and free to pursue than ever before. So this letting go of control issues, this is a bit of a shadow. As feminines clear their karma, they no longer reach as an escapism to get away from the pain, to cling to their masculine, desire that comfort. Divine masculines will never coddle a divine feminine or be a band-aid for them. So feminines, if you have been confused about where did your masculine go when you thought you needed them the most, it was likely that you actually didn't need them, and you did need to deepen your connection with Source in times of your own karmic cleanup need. Those things are not your masculine's responsibility. And those rites of passage have been there to help bring you into your own wholeness and accountability, so you can rise up and get to the good part with your masculine. But those things were not part of your masculine's karmic contract in this life, aside from holding that sacred, unconditionally loving space for you to come through those things like a big feminine you are. And putting down this control about whether your masculine is a good person or not, lovable or not, based on you coming into seeing your own resilience and your own ability to overcome. This is your freedom that you've won. So masculines, this is what your feminine is offering you now, is their wholeness, this brand new level of freedom that they have achieved through going through their process, their blossoming as a soul, where they now only want what is compatible and for them. They're no longer reaching for things that are outside of their access that are not mutual. Your feminine continues to refine themselves to a point of readiness eternally on deeper and deeper levels. But this is speaking of major changes in the physical that actually bring in the spaciousness in their physical reality for an emperor to show up, that they don't have to be they don't have to be so rigid, so hard, so persevering, so type A even in their lives, because they've gotten themselves through something major that is coming to a close. What do you need to know about this, masculines? Wow, now we got the divine masculine King of Wands in the inverse. So these are stages of deep awareness of self for both counterparts. And masculines, you're also coming into your own with being able to discern these lightning bolts here. Again, what is of value to offer and when? And in such intimate ways, because you are so finely attuned to your feminine, only you and the divine know those precise ways that promote the optimum bell tone here. You know when it's a hair off of center with what you have tried to approach in the past. And you also know, furthermore, that in karmic situations you've tried to approach when you were maybe more naive or innocent or open in very pure ways, and it fell on rejection. Your feminine, you also know, is the one that will receive you when you come correct, when you are in alignment, when you are with your whole heart there. You know your feminine is the one that is finely attuned to perceive when you're in that alignment, just as you are the most qualified to perceive when your feminine is in a genuine readiness for this connection. What is the advice, masculines? This is your Ten of Pentacles. This is the legacy. This is the gift to humanity that comes through these connections, because we're setting this perfected alignment in love. We won't settle. We're the ones that won't settle for less than. And it's not just an overnight, it all happens at once. It may look like that to others, but every one of us on this journey knows the amount of heart and sincerity that keeps us with this day in, day out. So it's happening consistently within all of us and in these sacred counterparts daily, moment to moment, around the clock. And so just keep allowing the process to inform you every step of the way, masculines and feminines. What is the biggest challenge for the feminines at this time? Surrendering to the feeling like it's going to be only a matter of time, and yet it's not there yet. So just continuing to have that knowing within. That's the challenge here. What do the masculines need to know about the feminines in that way? That there's healing, this red thread around all of the events that have happened, all the other people involved, all the other opinions involved, all the other paradigms, all the other fears. It's all being healed. So give it time, masculines. If it's not that, if you're not getting clear guidance from your guidance, or situations are not completely fallen into place yet and clicking, just keep affirming that this connection is deeply healing. No rush. There's no rush here. Even though your feminine might be feeling this increasing knowing that it's, an anticipation, you might be feeling that too. Slow burn. Just let it percolate. Let it become. What is the advice? Tower. So process these emotions. Process the contrast that your feminine is not a repeat of painful history. It's not too good to be true. This connection is designed to completely restructure the paradigms that we were imprinted by. When we genuinely cry out for real love in our lives, when we want the real thing, yes, you masculines have done that, or you would not be on this journey. It sets a time release process in motion that restructures your entire karmic blueprint into an ascended version of a healed version. And so this is what that feels like. Sometimes we have these awarenesses come up so that we can just acknowledge what an alternative healed version would be, and we go back and rewrite that code internally. So you are code rewriting at this point, and you can't rush that. It takes how long it takes. What is the solution to this hover in the energy while the code's being rewritten? To keep an open mind. The feminines are keeping their hearts and minds open and continuing to tune into the frequency of what they're picking up on, that knowing deep within, continuing to embody that temple embodiment of higher consciousness, of expanded awareness of what is actually happening here, and the seeing the energetic fruits of this process in the lives of themselves, their families, their friends, and you, masculines. They're continuing to seek that resonance of truth. What do the masculines need to know about this? That your feminine doesn't know all the answers, that you are coming onto the stage with the world stage with your feminine, that you're going to be coming in as the yin or the yang to the yin, and that you will see things in ways your feminine cannot see, that you don't have to just follow your feminine's insight or viewpoints or opinion or their logic. They may not be infallible. You have to come into the confidence where you know that you can assert, affirm, express a truth that differs from your feminine. Your feminine might also be starting to realize with this Eight of Wands in the inverse that they have not had it all figured out, and truly you have value to offer them, that they don't have to put the brain power with that Eight of Swords as well, that you are so intelligent, masculines, and your feminine does benefit from your keen intellect, your vision, your perception, and that you can make such a difference in your feminine's life when you also offer your valid viewpoint into the connection. So the feminines are also putting down an aspect of thinking they know all of the answers, or scrambling to come up with the best opinion of something that they possibly can. But the two of you have a puzzle piece like complementary way of seeing the world that you can bless each other with. And so even if your feminine is a high priestess that channels and heals and is in flow like that, you may have been intimidated, but you're coming into your high priest energy, masculines, where you can bless your feminine, and the two of you can go even higher because of that aspect of you that's beginning to come to the forefront. And so you will have these emerging ways of coming forward with your keen insight that continues to deepen the trust that your feminine genuinely has for you, because you will not be intimidated by your feminine and how together they seem to be. This is a monumental switch in the energy where you're not taking your feminine so seriously that either they're not going to be open to what you have to say because they're definitive with how they express, or thinking that they have it figured out beyond where you're able to. There's something else going on there where you're beginning to see your benefit, your contribution. What is the advice here? This is happening right now. So masculines, there is something in the energy that you can come into leadership with regarding your dynamic with your feminine, and come in and be the masculine at this time, right now, in real time. I'm hearing the month of May, and Mother's Day. Isn't Mother's Day in May? So there's something about feminine energy getting to be, I mean, the feminines would feel it was like a spoiling, but masculines, this is your time to shine. There's something that's being called from you, from higher purpose here, to remember your rightful place in your feminine's life, in leadership, and with such compassionate, insightful care. Yeah, it's beautiful, masculines. There are walls falling within your heart, within your feminine, and within this connection in the month of May. Beautiful. What is the direction in the near future? Awakening to aspects in the 3D that can actually start bringing in this momentum and this change. This is the second coming, the resurrection, the redemption in the physical. So, you know, we've been redeemed in the energetic realms, and now this is coming in to bring in a new way of life in the physical. I just saw red carpets being rolled out towards these more harmonious, more highly functioning dynamics in the physical, and masculines showing up. Okay, this is you stepping into your emperor energy, especially since these eclipses, April 8th. You've been getting these downloads, instructions, and possibly your 3D, your material realm, has been providing a growing opportunity for you to emerge and have a crossover in your feminine's physical world. There are life circumstances emerging in these connections that are beyond your control, masculines, at first glance, but they are all part of what you have heart wished for to roll out in your life, and what your feminine has heart wished for. And the common denominator is both of you have asked for love, real love in this lifetime. And this is what it looks like unfolding. 10 of Cups, it's not too good to be true. You're going straight towards heaven on earth, these higher timelines. Beautiful. I am going to leave it there. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.